If you need a piece of content for your social media this week, here's an easy one. I want you to find an object inside of your industry, so connected to what you do, and give your followers 3 unique ways that you can be using this. This can be as simple as looking around your workspace and finding something that you use and then giving us some creative ways to use it, or it can be something a little more industry specific. So for example, let's say I'm going to do a piece of content on this hat. Here are 3 ways that you can be using a hat as a content creator. The first would be to wear it inside of your content for fashion. The second would be to use it inside of a flat lay photo for Instagram. So you would take it off, put it on your desk, and surround the other things with it and take a pretty picture. The third way would be to use this to block the sun or to diffuse that light inside of your photos and videos. So it's not going to be something you wear, but something your camera operator, your phone operator is holding up to block that light so you don't have those harsh shadows on your face. 3 easy and creative ways you can be using a hat as an influencer or a content creator. Now think about your industry. What do you have inside of your industry, in your workspace? Things that you are creating inside of your business, things that people typically use, or if you want to get creative, things that people don't typically think of. What can you be using and how can you be doing it? I might hold up my Apple Watch and say 3 creative ways to use an Apple Watch as a content creator. And you could talk about the different apps you can access through it. You can talk about how you can actually use this to take photos on your phone from a distance. You can also talk about how you are going to strap this onto the back of your phone so that you can use the rear-facing camera, but see what is on your screen so that you are not off camera. This is a really good opportunity for you to look around, look at the technology, look at the things on your desk, look at things that you're typically using, and you can be doing like products that you create or things that you're offering to people, but that's a little bit more of a sales pitch than anything else. So you can do it. You can absolutely do a variation of that. But if you're just trying to relate to your audience, have those conversations, show the behind the scenes of how you run your business or how they can be working with you or what you're doing to enhance what you're doing for your clients, this is a really good opportunity for you to then just look around, see what you have access to, and implement that into the conversation. Now, how do you want to present this? You can do it in a video. You can create a reel, you can create a TikTok or a YouTube short for this, not a problem. You're going to hold those things up, you're going to film them with your phones or your cameras, and you're going to create a voiceover for this. Now, you can talk directly to camera like I'm doing right now, but maybe you want to do that for one of the 3 clips and then do voiceovers for the rest, or maybe you want to add some B-roll into this. It's going to be really good opportunity for you to then actually use this in multiple ways. So you can do a version where you talk directly to camera. Now, pro tip for you here, if you're filming one version, also film the second version and wait a month to put it out. So if you are using this, use the same thing. If you want to talk about your Apple Watch, you are then going to film it direct to camera. We've talked about how to do this before, and you're going to show off that direct to camera conversation, maybe move around on screen so that it looks intentional when you're cutting things. You could then also have the ability to do this with a voiceover and B-roll footage. So show the behind the scenes of this. Film all of it. Film it in 3 or 4 different variations if you can, and then save the rest of the content for later on. Put one out tomorrow. Put one out in 3 or 4 weeks. Put one out in 3 or 4 months. Have them there and then reuse them. People are not going to remember the exact same thing, and no matter what you do, you're going to say it in different ways. So it's going to be easy for people to see it and consume it in a different capacity. This allows you to be in the correct mindset to film these pieces of content all at the same time so you know exactly what you're saying and how you're doing it, but then you'll have content for months to come, and when you have a day where you don't want to create content or you can't create content or it's just in your schedule, you can put it out then and save yourself the time and the effort, so instead of having to go back and recreate the entire thing in a different way. So you're going to then create it with a B-roll footage, you're going to create a direct camera, all those different variations. You can also do this in photo form. So you can use this as a carousel on your Instagram page, on your TikTok, on your YouTube community tab, and you can go through and show the different uses for the different things. And then in your caption, have a really good fleshed out caption where you're talking about what it is, how you're using it, and how you're using it creatively. When we talked about this, I talked kind of the common ideas, but I also talked interesting ideas with the hat. So I said you can use it to wear. Obviously, that's going to be the first thing people think of. Of course, that's going to be the first thing people think of. Then we're going to move on to that flat lay photo. That takes a little bit of a level up. But most people are not going to think to use a hat to diffuse that light inside of the content you're creating and use it to block and to create that shade for the content that you are creating. So we've gone from everybody's going to think of that to, oh, it takes a step up to, oh, less people are going to think of this. It's a little more creative. Now, could I get much more creative with how to use a hat in my business? Absolutely. But if I'm only giving 3 examples, those are pretty good examples and pretty baseline for what we're doing here in today's video. The more creative you can get, the more unique and logical you can make this, the more impressed people are going to be. So keep trying this. This is a piece of content you can use over and over and over again, week after week after week. So look around. What do you have access to? The more you do it, the more creative you're going to be able to get with it, and the more niche you're going to be able to get with it. So you're going to be able to look around and find more abstract things, pull them in, and make those logical connections to your business. If you want more content creation ideas, go ahead and follow down below. And for daily tips and tricks on how you can navigate the social media platforms, save time and effort creating your social content, and make more money online while still creating luxury time in your business, follow along for those daily episodes. We're getting your questions answered right now, so drop them down below. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.